Hello, everyone. I'm Celia Fenn, and I'm here to talk to you today about the Lion's Gate. What is the Lion's Gate that people talk about in July? Well, the Lion's Gate is a transit, an energetic transit from one time spiral to the next that occurs in July and into early August. It begins around the beginning of July when our sun and the bright star Sirius are conjunct in the heavens. And in fact, for most of July, Sirius rises with the sun on the horizon, and it's known as the heliacal rising of Sirius with the sun. For our ancient Egyptian ancestors, this was a very sacred time because they knew, of course, that the Lion's Gate was a portal into a new spiral of time. But they also correlated it with the rising of the Nile River, and they called it the time when the land had two suns, the white sun, which was our solar system sun, and the blue sun, which is Sirius. So at the time of the two suns, great abundance was poured out on the earth, and there was a renewal of the cycles of life. Of course, this correlated with the rising of the Nile, as I said before, and the bringing of abundance through water and silt that fertilized the land. And as they knew, as above, so below, so great blessings were also poured out from the heavens onto the earth. And so at this time, July into August, there is still this ongoing transit and also blessings and abundance being poured out on the earth if we are open to receiving that in our lives. So, very special time indeed. I also want to mention that way back in the midst of time, Giza, the Giza Plateau, was considered to be the center of the planet. And where the Sphinx stands today was not just one beast with a human head, but two lions that represented the star lions, who were the keepers of time. And this was the original time gate from where all time emerged at what is called the Zeb Tepi the first time. So very special, very sacred, not widely known in our culture because we have forgotten all these things. But also, not just is it this passageway through the portal, but also there is a celebration of the beginning of a new time spiral, because as Archangel Michael teaches us, there is a sacred circle spiral, if you want to call it that, that begins at the 8-8 and then goes round to all of the other time portals, the 11-11, the 2-2, and the 5-5, and then coming back to the 8-8. But also in there are the two equinoxes and the two solstices. So that creates an 8-pointed star. So the 8 points of light that make up the sacred year are celebrated by people who understand that this is a planetary year, a galactic year, and that the 8-8, the Lion's Gate, represents passing through the portal into a new stage or a new spiral of time. And as it was designed by the lions, when you went up through the gate, you were going up at a higher level, because during the year that you were in the sacred spiral, you would be growing and evolving and moving to a higher point. So that coming back to the 8-8, you would not be at the same place that you were the year before. Of course, some people don't evolve and don't grow. So of course they are at the same place. And then they just keep going round and round in circles. But if you have evolved and grown in the year, then you are at a different point and you're moving to a whole new cycle of experience. So indeed, the 8-8 and the Lion's Gate is a very exciting and intense and beautiful time when we celebrate how we are growing on our path. So please join us. I have a very special webinar series called Emergence and the 2025 Lionsgate, which is going to be showing how we can shift and move and grow and emerge as everything we need to be in this new cycle. So thank you for listening. Bye-bye for now.